Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video has a trigger warning because I am going to be talking about miscarriage, and if this is not a topic that interests you or perhaps brings you pain, then this is not the video for you. But if it is, then I would love to read your comments. I'm just going to be really honest with you and see where this video goes, and I hope it's not going to be too long. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Carly, and 2 and a bit weeks ago I had a miscarriage. Full transparency. We were not trying to have a baby. Complete accident, wonderful accident. But I found out I was pregnant on the day that Leon flew to go on his retreat. So he had left and I was like, why is my ring black? And I thought, gosh, I'm just really dirty. So I was washing it, and then I was tucking into cereal, and I don't really eat cereal very often. It's the chocolate Weetabix minis. And then I was like, when I was pregnant with Jax, my ring went black. It must be something in the metal. And I was eating that cereal all the time, and I hadn't clicked the two, but for the last 2 weeks I've been really enjoying the cereal and just thought, oh, it just must be the time of year and I really want it. My brain went, oh, alarm bells, you're pregnant. And I was like, no. I need to do a big update here on YouTube because we are planning on moving to another country at the beginning of next year, and lots of things going on. I have an app coming out and it's a really exciting time. So a baby would be very difficult. Leon's mum was here. We pay her to do the cleaning. So she had Jax. I didn't say anything, and I drove to Sainsbury's and did a pregnancy test in Sainsbury's toilets. Very classy. And when the line came up and said that I was pregnant, I didn't have a happy reaction. And if you're trying for a baby or you're struggling to get pregnant, I know how hard that might be to hear. But for me, it was, oh, bad timing. And I love Jax as she is, and I've just got my life back. How are we going to move with a baby? Or we won't be able to move. And how am I going to film all these workouts for the app? How am I going to do the app? There were so many questions that just went around and around in my head. How am I going to paddleboard when I like paddleboarding with Jax? How am I going to, all these things which seem very insignificant, maybe even selfish, became really important to me. So I got in my car and I had a big scream. Kind of like those ones you see in a movie. And then I called a friend and she talked me through it. And she actually talked about how she had had an abortion. A lot of people spoke to me about how they'd had an abortion when I said that it was bad timing. And it was also the same week that there was a lot in the news about abortions and rights in America. So it felt like a crazy timing. I did go on the abortion website to find out details because in my head it really did feel like bad timing. And Leon was away and he's still pretty much sure that he only wants to have just Jax. So I didn't want to interfere with him while he was on the retreat and let him know anything. So I had like 3 or 4 days of just feeling super anxious, and a bit like when you're going on a first date, it's all you can think about. And my brain had switched from it being bad timing to, well, we would just make it work. You know, like maybe I don't want to have a new baby in a new country. Maybe I have it here. And I kept imagining a baby boy, blonde baby boy. And I kept thinking we can do this. And Jax was randomly talking about a baby sister. And I realized I was being very weird to Leon on the phone. So I sent him a message and said, can we chat? And when he picked up the phone, I told him I was pregnant, and I said, I need you to have some time to have a think about what you want, and then, you know, just get back to me. And I did say the words, I wish my body could make the decision so that I don't have to. And 4 hours later, my body had made a decision. So I think I was 8 or 9 weeks pregnant. And I will live with the fact that I said that out loud, and I've Googled to see if it would have ears and I've Googled to see if you can make a baby think it's not wanted. And regardless of all of the above, I know it's just something that I'm going to feel really awful about. There are a million reasons as to why you may miscarriage. No, I will never know the reason. It was not the right timing, perhaps, for that baby. And it was also a really amazing lesson because it has taught me that I would like to have a second. Leon is still very much on the fence, but after 4 days when he came home, he was also feeling the same. Now, the miscarriage itself, I didn't know this and I found it really hard to tell. So about 4 hours after I told Leon, I went to my calisthenics class, and when I went to the toilet beforehand, I noticed blood, and I kept bleeding for about 5 days. My periods are usually 3 days and not particularly painful in my tummy, just more in like my back and my legs. This was very painful in my tummy and was more like clot. And apparently after speaking to my GP, they think a lot of us, sometimes one of our periods may be a miscarriage, especially if you're miscarriaging very early, like 3, 4 or 5 weeks, because that can team up with what you would know to be your period time, which is really interesting because I had never thought of that. And it was uncomfortable and I was highly emotional. And I guess my reason for sharing this video is, one, because a lesson I have learned is that I told like 3 friends that I was pregnant for their support, which then meant I felt then I also had the right to tell those 3 when I miscarried. And I know so many people, when I shared it online, said that they've never told anyone. Some people said they hadn't even told their partner. And I feel like you're allowed to have support, and having a miscarriage doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you broken. It doesn't, like somebody said on my Instagram comments, mean you're unhealthy. And it doesn't even have to be your fault. It can be a million reasons as to why. And it is so common, like 1 in 3 that know about it. It's probably even higher if you think about the ones that don't know that they're pregnant. So I just wanted to offer a little tip that if you do find out you're pregnant, don't feel nervous to tell some people. Tell people you're close to that you also wouldn't mind telling if you were to miscarry, because you're allowed support either way. It's such a daunting time and you shouldn't have to do that on your own. And I guess my other tip would be, when it comes to miscarrying, you don't have to blame yourself for it. It doesn't mean anything negative about yourself, just didn't work. And sometimes it might be a blessing because the baby may not have been very well, and that could be a reason. And sometimes it's just the stars are not working in your favor. To anyone who is obviously trying so hard for a baby, then this might be painful for you that I had that first initial reaction, and I'm really sorry for that. And to anyone watching this video who, previous video a while back where I was saying that I didn't want to have another child, that still rings true. This was a really good lesson for me. It taught me that I do want to have another child, but what I said beforehand still stands. I don't want to bring another child into this world because I find it really scary and daunting, quite negative. But I do want to bring another child into my family, which I think is a different scenario. So I guess watch this space. We're not going to try. We are going to go about as normal because life is crazy and there isn't a good time. But I have also learned there is no such thing as good timing. So I'm giving you all a really big hug, and I look forward to seeing you all soon for another video. And I hope this video helped in some small way. Love you lots. Bye.